to overtime at the Olympic Saddle Dome, and this is a familiar scene. Fourth time in the last 7 years the Flames have been involved in a Game 7 going to overtime. San Jose Sharks and the Flames, what a rally, 4-4, a delay of game penalty, and boom.
Well, it was a delay.
Yes.
You could see him push it off. It was a good call. It showed a lot of heart. I tell you, when you get in those seventh game, you're down all those goals. They showed a lot of heart. What they have to watch is now the Flames, they're going to be pressing. They should be pressing all the time. They got to have one guy kind of floating back a little because, as he says, they lull you to sleep, and all of a sudden, Janny, I have to admit, Janny's playing pretty good.
Looks like lightning. That's as fast as I can recall ever seeing Janny.
See, this has been it. He's been saving it all year. For 5 years, he's been saving it for the seventh game here. That's what he's been saving all that for.
Well, he's been good actually a couple of times. He was in a funk, though, most of the series. You're right about that. As far as Calgary, Trevor Kidd and Pat Falloon are former Spokane Chiefs together. It's Flaherty against Kidd.
I played Spokane, by the way.
Did you?
Yes.
When and for how long?
1962 for the Spokane Comets, the Western Hockey League.
Who was on your team?
We were a very tough team. It was the year that we had Mad Dog Madigan,
Sandy Huckle?
Sandy Huckle, Stoneface Huckle, and Bill the Destroyer Chevette. Boy, would he eat these guys up now. Whoa!
I was going to say, two young goalies are going into a huge test. Now, Trevor's been in a World Junior. By the way, Terrace, BC was where Wade was born. He's been through
great name,
the Memorial Cup.
Wade Flaherty, what a guy.
Absolutely. Remember when we sat, speaking of Wade Flaherty, last year we're sitting there during the Toronto series. We were out there for 6 days in San Jose. Every day we'd watch the skate, and I think I may have told this story before. I don't want to get Rick Wamsley in trouble, but he used to say, why would Jimmy Waite let Wade Flaherty go in and take shots first on the off days? He says, Wade's going to take his job.
And he did.
Right. Yeah. So that's
Rick's
my
pretty
story.
smart.
You think these guys will be nervous in this situation?
I don't know if they'll be nervous. The old story of, and I've said it 100 times, you've heard me say it 100 times, Calgary's got to go out because the other team's going to be laying back waiting for a mistake, but they got to have a guy just back a little and not get too stupid, and don't embarrass Fraser, not thinking that he's going to call a penalty. If you embarrass him in front of the crowd and everything, he'll call a penalty. It's okay to clutch and grab a little bit, but not any face in the stick.
I hope for these goalies, I'm dwelling on this, but it's interesting to me that it's a good goal. And we're going to, on that topic, show the 3 previous seventh game overtimes for the Calgary Flames, going back first to 1989 when Mike Vernon was unbelievable.
You inspiring them here, sort of?
Yeah,
like,
just, well,
in case they're watching?
I'm referring to this first goal because you observed it wasn't a classic. When,
no, that was when Publicity and Otto kicked it in.
Yes,
and Terry Chris sent everybody on, and the referees, well, wait, oh, well, it's a good goal.
No replays.
Chris, great one.
Then. So let's look at this. Is Game 789.
He got the puck out over the line. The Roberts! He is alone, and the clean is out of the net to knock it away. Right as shot, Leinhardt was back there into the final minute of this overtime period. And we've seen everything in this overtime session, but no goals. Lube shoots one in. They're after it again. Krupinski going in. Score! The Calgary Flames have finally done it. Not a crucial goal.
Yeah, he's always in the shot. April 15, I think that was, 1989.
Still there.
Later
Same
that
guy
night,
with the mustache.
Edmonton was down in Los Angeles, and Gretzky and the Kings won a big series 6-3. That was
no way that'd be counted now.
No, that's right.
No, that wouldn't be counted now because you looked down, kicked it in.
The next time Calgary goes to overtime in a seventh game, they have a big lead, 3-0. And we mentioned Mike Vernon was brilliant, but you remember the long shot about 16 minutes into the first period, Flames up 3-0, everybody's ready to go home and party in Calgary. And a long shot beat Mike, and it ended up 4-4 going to overtime, and Esa Tikkanen scores the game-winning goal to break the Flames' hearts right in Calgary.
Remember that one.
Tikkanen circles at center. 3 points in the game. A couple of goals for Esa Tikkanen. 6 in the series. Shoot, scores! Esa Tikkanen has won it for the Oilers.
See? That's the one. See there? That's the one where Messier could not jump over the boards. Remember I told you
Yes.
Could not jump over the boards. His legs bothered him so bad he had to walk it out. And what a leader that guy is.
And he told John Muckler on the power plays, put Teek's line out there because he says, I'm no good tonight. And you know who that went off of when it beat Vernon? You know who the Calgary defenseman was? Frantisek Musil. I thought you might enjoy Frank.
Musil, he put him out again. He might put him out tonight.
Poor
Is he playing tonight?
Yes. No, I haven't seen him, so I don't know if he's suited up or not.
That's why they're tied, I guess.
Yeah. Heartbreaker for the Flames a year ago, and Burry did it again tonight. He got a shorthanded goal on a breakaway. He had one early in the series. It was a carbon copy of that. By the way, Frank Musil is dressed tonight. Just didn't play a whole lot down the stretch there, going with Housley and Patrick killing a lot of it. Going to be a heck of an overtime.
Going to be ready. I'll tell you, boy, seventh game, overtime. There's nothing better in sports.
We'll be back with more of our coverage of the 1995 Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the San Jose Sharks and the Calgary Flames tied at 4, trying to join the 7 other teams who've already advanced to round 2. We'll have more in a moment. In the first round, last year in the first round, 8 OTs. The year before that, there were 14 in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and that was the year they had a record 28 overtimes. Montreal Canadiens won 10 in a row en route to their Stanley Cup victory. Let's get up to date. The Chicago Blackhawks host the Toronto Maple Leafs this evening at the United Center in Chicago. Joe Murphy scores this goal, one of 2 that would come 26 seconds apart and really break the backs. I hate to say, a little turnover here for the poor Leafs, and a great play for the lovely Blackhawks as they score there. Made it 3-1 at that stage. Poulin made it 4-1. Denny Savard hits an empty net. Doug Gilmour, the heart and soul of the Maple Leafs, naturally disconsolate after the game as he spoke with our Scott Oak.
Doug, I know it's a little consolation right now, but this was a close series. What was the difference in the end, do you think?
Well, it was a matter of one game, and you don't want to look back and reflect on anything because both teams worked hard, and it was a 7th game. We kind of got beat in the 3rd period in a matter of 26 seconds, and then after that it was tough to come back.
You were under a lot of pressure personally in this series to come through. How do you think you played?
I'm not going to comment on anything right now. It's just this is a team game and a team concept, and I'm disappointed in the loss. And now that our season is over, it's something that we're all going to feel the effect on, and it's something we haven't, I guess, seen in the past 2 seasons here. So, and right now, it's just disappointing.
Yeah, it takes some getting used to not be in the playoffs past the first round.
Well, it's something you don't want to get used to, but it's happened now, and we got to face that.
Was your health okay in this series?
I'm not going to comment on. It's just I'm not going to make excuses. We lost the series, and Chicago beat us in the 7th game.
Fair enough, Doug. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
At the Kiel Center in St. Louis this evening, the Vancouver Canucks advanced by defeating the Blues. Cliff Roning's 3rd goal of the playoffs from Russ Courtnall, helping to pave the way for a 4-1 lead at that stage. Nothing Joseph can do. Great play by Roning, and the Canucks go on to win it. Kirk McLean with 41 saves in a 5-3 victory as the Canucks win Game 7 for the 3rd time in 4 years. Here's Kirk with Steve Armitage.
Congratulations on a super series. That's a great way to finish.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we came out with just a great effort tonight. A little sluggish in the second. We killed off a few penalties, but we held off for the win.
I just said to Dave Babbage, you must have felt like he was shell-shocked in that second period. They outshot you 25-7.
Well, they did. They ended up getting 15 in the first and the 25 in the second. But things were going our way, and it was our night tonight.
Kirk, you were so calm, cool, and relaxed throughout the 7th and deciding game. How do you do it?
Well, I just try to play it like any other game. I mean, if you let your emotions run too high, I think it might hinder your game. And if you're a little nervous or a little down on the night before from the game, that's not going to help either. So I realized it wasn't going to be an easy series. And I mean, they got a good hockey club and some great offense, and they really poured it on tonight, but we held them off.
Kirk, it looks more and more as if you're going to play the Chicago Blackhawks in the next round. Some thoughts on that?
Well, they've had our number pretty much the whole year, so we're certainly going to have to be ready to play. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, thank you very much, Kirk McLean. That's the story here at the Kiel Center in St. Louis. A 7th game decision for the Vancouver Canucks with a victory over the Blues. More Stanley Cup playoff action in just a moment.